Hello YouTube artist, I'm Kelly Hernig and welcome to In the Studio. Today we're going to do a fun little color mixing exercise. They are like any other that you've seen and we're just going to have fun. So I want you to just pull out your paints, a brush, watercolor paper. I'm using masking tape as my template, but if you have a circle template, that's fine. I've got a pencil and just some kind of straight edge so that we can create a middle for ourselves to start with. This is what we're going to be creating. Fun little color wheels. Aren't they adorable? And I want you to think about putting these on a circle or just making them as a little bunting in your studio. I think they would look great just hanging from the wall or hanging from a hook so that you can easily grab them. This is a way to see what your palette will do for you. And I am a huge fan of learning what your colors in your palette can create and what they can do, because it gives you so many more possibilities than seeing just the colors here. Knowing how to mix and match will open up a different world to you, and I want you to experience that. So what you're going to do is take your masking tape, lay it down, and trace around it. That's all I did for my circles. That was the easiest way, and it's the biggest circle that I had instead of using a compass. I did it fairly light, you can see. And what I'm going to do now is just stick a circle anywhere. So I like to kind of be off kilter. You can see, like, here's the circle here, here's the circle here. So let's just put one there. And then all I'm going to do is draw some lines right from that circle. Draw them fairly light. They're just some guidelines to kind of help us figure out the shapes. They're kind of wonky, and that's what I really like about them. So you can see here, there's that tiny little circle here. And then I've just drawn some straight lines. All that's going to do is help us create the different shapes here. So like I've got a line drawn there, and then I just kind of freehanded that. And you'll see as we go. When doing an exercise like this, for me, to get the most out of what I'm looking at for my palette, I want it to kind of remain the color that we start with. So on this one here, I started with this red tint color. So I wanted everything to have a red feel. So red tint mixed with all of these colors. And so by letting it stay on the red side, I'm able to look at this color now and go, oh, if I want a really dark shade, I could go here first, and then I could deepen with that one. Or if I want it to go a little brighter, I can do this one next and then add that as a shadow. It allows you to see what will happen. This one here was Davy's Gray. So you can see that I wanted everything to stay kind of on the Davy's Gray side. And Davy's Gray is a duller anyway, so it's going to mute the colors. You can see the brightest color there is indigo. So just imagine how bright indigo is, and you can see how it muted it down quite a bit. So in today's exploration, I thought that I'm using my palette from 2024 because it's got more colors. My one this year only has 9 colors, and so I would have to mix, and I didn't want to have to do that with you. So what I want to do this time is use this mint green. It's a color that is fairly new to me, and I like exploring different colors. This is kind of a bright green, so first of all, I've got to clean it off because it has all kinds of schmutz on it. And I'm going to bring you closer. And I want you to be able to see the mixing so that you can understand how easy it is. Okay, I'm going to start with the mint green. And I usually make the color that we start with a little bigger. Now you can see I don't have a line there. I'm just kind of making it up as I go. And I like the center up here to be a little darker, so I keep blotting in there to just make sure that I have the nice color. And just pull that down. Let's add a little more blotting, make sure that we get that nice and dark up there. I'm gonna blot my brush into water now. I'm just gonna soften out this edge. I've got a little paper towel here that I just kind of blot, and I'm gonna splash. I like my color wheels to have a little bit of texture. I just think it adds to their movement here, and I like the look of them better. This is mint green. As I go along with color wheel, I will be adding the color that I added. That way, if I want to cut it out and add the mixture to the back, I know what color I mixed with what. So now we're going to go with mint green here, and let's add a little of this red tint. Now you see, I just want it to change, but I want it to remain on the green side. So you can see that's very gray. And red and green together, they cross each other out. So I like that grayness there. That's a beautiful color. See the difference? Just a little bit of water on my brush here. Take some of that dark, add it up there, and splash. Gonna just blot down here at the bottom. Now that was red tint, so I'm just gonna write RT there so that I know. And the reason I can just get away with RT is I'm using a palette that has the colors, so I know exactly what color that is. So I'm gonna use some mint green again. And now I wanna add some of this Naples yellow to it. See how bright that made that? That looks nice. I want to make sure it's different than that one, and it is. Make it nice and bright up there, or nice and dark, I should say, full of color. And notice that I skipped a space there. Just water again, and I'm gonna splash. Now you see, by keeping it on the same kind of line of these, it's all different greens, which is gonna be very helpful whenever I need different greens. I can pull out this card and know what this will make. This is why I say, like, enjoying your palette and learning what it will do is just such a huge thing as an artist for us to understand, because each color gives you a different way of looking at something. Now the purple here, the lavender color, will definitely mute everything, and it gives it a little more blue cast, which I really love. A little more. I want it to just be a little different than that one. I love how it almost became like a cerulean blue here. It's very beautiful. Just water on my brush and splash. Let's go into this green again. And let's go into, let's see, this red. This is alizarin gold. And I want it to stay on the green side. And you can see that's a really deep green. It's lovely. Let's touch just a little bit more red and see what happens. Okay, it's getting kind of like a brownish color. I want to add just a touch more green. I love that darkness for sure. Touch a little bit more up there. Remember, I like it to be dark up there at the center. I've got to write my colors down before I forget. It's easy to forget. So make sure you're keeping notes as you go. Okay, mint green again. And let's get into this indigo and see what happens. Ooh, that's pretty. A little more mint. Remember, I want it to be more on the green side. Just a touch more indigo. There we go. That's beautiful. Just water again. Mint green. And let's try some of this yellow green in here. Now, yellow green over here, it's kind of a dirty green. I'm not sure what it will do with this color, but let's check it out. Oh, it kind of changed it. Kind of muted it down a little. Gave it a different green look. I like that. I think it'll look nice next to this one here. By playing with all these, and because it's your palette already, it's going to give you a lot of different color choices than what you thought. By having something like this on your desk where you can see what your colors will do, I think it's a great way to just push your palette and see what it will do for you. Splash. To start with this bright of a color and then go to those other colors and see how it changes is amazing. This is Artemis. It is a purplish color that separates. So I want to make sure that it matches, it mixes well, but I want to see if it will also let me still have a little bit of color change there. Ooh, that's a beautiful color. I'm hoping it granulates just a little bit or separates like the Artemis does. So that's also part of the reason why I'm adding a lot of water at the bottom, is if it does granulate, it will show in that watered area because granulation needs to have water in order to granulate and separate. All right, let's do this color. And let me look at some bright green. I have Joyce's Mother green on here. It's a very bright green. Sorry, can't see that. There we go. It's a beautiful color. Made a nice Kelly green almost. Just water on my brush. Water, splash. I've got Hematite Violet Genuine, which is a Daniel Smith color that goes from brown and it separates to a little bit of pink. So I'm interested to see what this does with that mint green. It's a hard color to get out, so that's why I added that first. Ooh, look at that. I'm gonna add a little bit darker. Let's see what this does. It's a beautiful shade. It's almost where the green and the brown mix together. It creates kind of this bluish green, which is very cool. I'm anxious to see if this separates. You can see it's starting to separate just a little. Let's add some water splashes to that. Okay, let's add some raw sienna. I want it more on the yellow-green side. We don't have much on the yellow, and that's what raw sienna to me is. It's a nice deep green. Ooh, yeah, there we go. It's a nice evergreen color. We're gonna try a little bit of Davy's Gray here. So with this mint, Davy's Gray is a very pale color, so it should mute it, almost take the color and the brightness out of it. You can see it changing there. That's a nice color. So there's the original color, and see how much duller that is? That is Davy's Gray at work. That's why I like Davy's Gray on my palette. It's just a really pretty color to mute something down and give it like almost a new personality, which I like. I like when a color can change a different color. Okay, we're gonna add mint green and sepia together. Sepia is one of my nice dark browns. I want to add a lot of sepia. I want it to be a nice dark green. Ooh, look at that color. Touch more sepia. That's lovely. Get it nice and dark up there at the point. So there is the color wheel where we started with mint green and we mixed all the other colors on there. Now, would you have thought that that was possible? And isn't this such a fun, easy way to just have fun mixing your colors, right? No squares are involved, no complicated systems. It's just drawing a circle, a couple lines, and away you go. I just think it's such a fun way to explore colors. And it gives you such a nice range. I mean, look at the different range here. And the reason I do dark to light is so that we can see what it's like here. So this is the main mint green color. You can see that's pure color, and then this is the lightest value. So you're getting a nice range. This one over here we mixed with Davy's Gray, so you can see what it looks like darker, but you can also see what it looks like lighter. This is the sepia we just did. I mean, look at that beautiful tone right there and that nice richness. I would probably use this color a lot. I like this color and this color. This was made with the Artemis. I like the tone of that one. It's very beautiful. I need to splash my sepia again. There we go. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing this different way to make a color wheel. And just imagine these little circles hanging from your studio or placed in a deck or somewhere fun that you can look at. I think they'd even look great framed or in a poster frame, you know, because these are the colors that inspire you. I mean, look how beautiful they are. One is more beautiful than the next. But it also gives you a range of colors that you can constantly mix because now you know what your palette will do for you. And as an artist, that is a game changer. When you know that just by starting with mint green and anything on your palette, you know what it can mix like and still remain green, it opens up your world to endless possibilities. Trust me on this. If you're inspired by these fun color wheels, please like or comment. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And if you haven't subscribed, please click the bell. And as always, thanks for watching.